Great. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Second. Okay. Maybe I'll get it. Here. Gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright is white o'er the ranks were so gallantly streaming. Thank you very much. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial for all concerned? And our invocation for today is by John Healy.
Please bow your heads. Lord, please guide us as we head toward Christmas and the new year. We ask for your love to fill our lives. We're grateful for all we have, and we ask that we can keep our focus on what is right and good. Please prepare us for the holiday season and protect our hearts for what's to come in the new year. Guide us this holiday season toward those who might need love, kindness, and resources as we celebrate. Help us to also give our resources to people who have less. We trust you to guide us toward these people, and we thank you for your continued guidance. We thank you for the gift of your son, Jesus, whose entry into our world we celebrate. We pray that our eyes be open in the ways in which he continues to be active in our lives, blessing us each and every day. Amen.
Thank you, John. And now, Marion, have we got any visiting Rotarians and guests? Yes, we do. Well, let's see. I think I saw Zach Agate here. Yes. Zach. There's Zach. And have we got, did Jennifer make it? Jennifer's Swan Luz. There's Jen. And then I think Mike Healy's got a couple guests. Great. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's see. Mike Roberts, I think you had an announcement from the, what do we have? Oh, this is from Auction Committee.
Can I go out front? Yes or no? Is that possible? How many of you know we're going to have an auction? Do I see everybody's hand up? Lynn, do you know we're having an auction? What's the date of the auction? It's May 18th. You'd have been a little early, but if you would have waited, we would have shown up. It's at Moonbrook Country Club. How many of you remember what we're going to remember about our old auctions? Nothing. Nothing about our old auction. This is not a garage sale, right? We have been at work. Our committee has met a few times. We have another meeting on our docket. I had an opportunity to go down to the Warren YMCA auction last Thursday, where Chuck and Ben put on a auction that is very similar to the one that we're envisioning. Saw some amazing software there that's going to help us do a lot of the things that are really hard about the auction. Registering people, taking credit card information, posting items online, posting items out, silent auction, live auction. They took bids in advance. So if you couldn't attend, you could still bid on an item. All of those bidding numbers stopped the minute the live auction started, and that became the opening bid. They do an incredible number. They've only been doing it for 4 or 5 years. They do a sit-down dinner. We're thinking food stations. I have attended numerous events at Moonbrook before, and the sit-down dinners are problematic with staffing and meal preparation, and I'm going to provide everybody the same meal. Food stations, I'll give you your options. You can come and go. You can take as much as you want, take as little as you want. Food stations are definitely the way to go. We have been already started soliciting for sponsors to the event. We already have Great Lakes UBS and Tim Edborg has stepped up to be a diamond sponsor at $2,000. Michelle and Joelle arranged for Northwest Bank to step in as a diamond sponsor. UPMC, Chautauqua, I'm going to get this wrong. It's Southern Chautauqua Federal Credit Union has stepped up as a $1,000 sponsor. Allied Alarm, $1,000 sponsor. We have some items already, and these are the kind of items we're looking for. Some are from the old days, like the balloon ride, and I think it was Diana that arranged that. That had always been a very popular one. Greg and Sue Jones have donated 2 weeks in a condo and for a 1-bedroom and a 1-week 2-bedroom. This is the host of the Mexican Open on the PGA Tour. So this is a world-class golf resort. Golf is included in both weeks. That's a major deal. We have some outdoor furniture from Faulkner Vac Shop. We have a dinner for 2 and an overnight stay at Batavia Downs that Vince arranged. Kristen has been very active in getting us the outdoor furniture, a mattress set. I happened to run into Jim Pullen, and not a twin bed mattress set. He's thinking of, and I own one, I bought it from him. He's thinking of one of these beds that you navigate up and down. Now, I didn't realize that, it came with the Howard Johnson mode, where you put the quarter in and it vibrates. Okay. It comes with the Howard Johnson mode, and it's really awesome. And we're probably talking $3-4 grand for that kind of a prize. They also might be interested in doing a sponsorship as well. Galen's Jewelry, that's another Vince Horrigan one. The Ice Arena has donated 1 hour of bumper cars. So you bring all the people you want, they'll put you in the bumper cars for an hour. Mike Calamari and Artone has stepped in. It'll probably be a situation where we'll know more when we get closer to the auction. I think he's also maybe interested in a sponsorship. If you don't know, Artone down on Allen Street, great local manufacturer. They make world-renowned products. They work for Disney. They work for other people, mostly in the hotel, motel, furniture business. Awesome stuff, and an awesome guy and an awesome company. We're off to a great start. My question to you is this: what have you done for the auction? Have you asked somebody to sponsor yet? Have you asked somebody to donate something yet? This is a full participation club event This is not going to be where 5 or 6 of us can do this. It's too heavy of a lift. We need everyone to step up and do something. We're going to need lots of help the day of the auction. We may pick up some items. We're going to need spotters for the bidders. We're going to need people in cash out. This is a full participation event. We're going to need every Rotarian to contribute. So if you have questions, the leadership team, Max, Tori Organg, Vince Horrigan, Mike Roberts, Tim Edborg. You have a question, email us, ask us. This is going to, maybe 18th will be here in a blink of the eye. Don't sit on, oh, I'm going to get around to asking somebody a question about a sponsorship, or I'm going to ask somebody about that. Companies that we don't have names assigned to: Jamestown Awning, Jamestown Rubber Stamp, Lakeshore Savings Bank, National Fuel, Phoenix Metal, Monofrax, Truck Light, Rand Precision, Newwood, R. Patty, Chautauqua Harbor Hotel, Ready About Sailing, Stormer Mechanical. I can take Dahlstrom Roar for him. Vince has taken M&T Bank. Tori's taken CCB, Cattaraugus County Bank. I can take Schultz, but if somebody has a better connection to Ed Schultz, please let me know. Dave Painter, can you take Ahlstrom Schaefer for us? Thank you very much. TJ, or I'm sorry, Dewey, can you take TJ's for us? See how easy that is? Huh? That's not that hard, is it, folks? If we all work together, this is an easy lift. If we ask 1 or 2 people to do everything, it's a heavy lift. So for all of you that have not attended a Rotary auction before, welcome to the auction committee.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike. Now, I wanted to announce that Zach Agate and Jen Swan-Luz have been recommended for memberships and have been approved by both the membership committee and the board of directors. So if anyone has reason to believe that either of these two would not uphold the standards of a Rotarian, please contact Secretary Lisa Goodell in writing in the next 10 days. Thank you. Okay, Chris, do you have something you wanted to do?
Thank you, Ruth. So as is tradition every year for our exchange students, they're a blessing. We're glad they're here. We usually get them a gift that's from the club. We normally do it at the Christmas party, but this year things were a little crazy. So we have a gift here today for Joaquin. So please come up, Joaquin. So this is a gift from the club. Sherry, who's on Zoom there, was the one who arranged everything. So thank you, Sherry. And we're glad you're here, Joaquin.
Thank you so much, Chris. So I wanted to announce the YWCA is again doing the coldest night of the year fundraiser for their transition housing support. And we have talked with both the AM and Falconer Rotary, and we will once again have a united team Rotary to support this function, February 24th. And Marion, thank you very much, has agreed to be the team leader. Very good. So you will see more on that, but we encourage everyone to either help us. It's like a walkathon where you get pledges and people donate money, or you can also walk. And it was a great time last year. And hopefully we'll have equally mild weather this year, but maybe not. So At this time, I've got a DoubleTree announcement and request. I think we have in the past been very spoiled in being told that we could have as many cookies as we want. I think some of us have sort of taken advantage of that. So the DoubleTree is asking a real simple ask. That is, everybody take one cookie to start with, and then if there's any left over, you can fill your pockets. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah. Oh, and Mike says they're for sale at the front desk too. So, okay, so that's a request. But now I'd like to ask Brandon from the DoubleTree to come up here, if you would, please. No, come. Actually, yeah. So this is Brandon. What's your official title?
General manager.
General manager here at the DoubleTree. Yay, Brandon. Thank you for coming here today as a guest. And so we have a little Christmas treat for your staff, and thank you very much to your staff from all of us, right? And I hope you appreciate that wrapping paper. I worked real long and hard on that. Sorry. All right. So I wanted to just say that we're real excited to say that Max and the mini golf bar crawl raised over $1,000 for the club. So, whoop, whoop. And there were 19 teams and they had a blast. So raise your hand if you were one of the teams. John Felden did. Thank you. Okay, it was a blast. We had all kinds of, we had Rotarians there and we had non-Rotarians, and we really, I think, to a person, had a great time, although every team thought they should have won, but that's that. Thank you so much, Max. Okay. I'm sorry, who Dee from the Green Door Tavern. Her team won. Yep. All right. And who, oh, yeah. John, okay. Okay, so Joelle, you had an announcement you wanted to make.
All right, I hope everybody saw my email I sent out on Friday. So on behalf of the fundraising committee, now this is fundraising for our club. So, you know, over the past few years when attendance has been down, but not today, it's very exciting to see everybody's face. You know, we are kind of incurring expenses that we don't normally incur. So our fundraising committee has just been trying to put together a few different ideas to raise much needed funds for our club. Unlike what Mike's doing and all the fundraising that we do for RCJCSF, that, you know, we donate and we put all that out there. This is just, you know, for our overall club expenses. And so everybody's been asking for Rotary apparel. You know, when they're at an event, they want to have some type of Rotary shirt on or Rotary jacket. So the team thought that maybe we could put together a logo shop. So we're using Falconer Printing as our local vendor. And you'll see that there are also two options. You can have any item with the Rotary Club of Jamestown emblem, or you could have the Rotary International emblem on either anything that you choose. So if you have friends from other clubs that may not do something similar, please feel free to share the link. There is a ton of selection, you know, tons of colors, you know, jackets, hats, grocery bags, anything you could and may need and want right in the middle of this holiday shopping season. So the store will close on January 7th, and then it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the items to come in. So if you guys have any questions, anybody has any issues with the access to it, just let me know and I can help you out. Marion. Yes. Yeah, you bought it. Thank you. Yes, it's really high quality items. I mean, there's anything from t-shirts to jackets. So again, a huge selection. They have done a great job. And, you know, we've really kind of thought through having both emblems available for anybody wanting to order. So we would definitely appreciate your support. So thank you.
Thank you, Joelle. And I did want to mention that there is a T-shirt that you can order, and the T-shirt, one of the colors it does have is the safety green. So for those of you who do roadside cleanup or anything like that want to have the roadside clean, please scroll down near the end. There's a T-shirt that you can get in Rotary green. Okay, not Rotary green, safety green. Okay. So do any other committee chairs have announcements? If not, then I'm going to welcome Michelle Jones with today's 50-50 drawing.
I do have to add, I love the apparel site. I thought it was great. And anybody who's working the auction should buy something so they'd have it ready to wear for the auction, right? Well, everybody, yes, who's working the auction should have a new piece of apparel to wear. Anyway, so yeah, I nagged everybody on the way in. We have $75 today because we have so many people at the meeting. So appreciate it. Let me see. I'm gonna have DoubleTree pull the winner because I think everybody bought tickets. Oh. Oh, 1126. 1126. Lisa. Woo! I think Andy bought the tickets for you too, isn't he? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And now I'm going to make our Sergeant at Arms wait because I want to hear about the birthday table today. Where's Joni?
All right, it's going to be quick. I can't promise painless. So, tell me the reason why, in one word, why we do the birthday table. Starts with an F and ends with an N. Foundation, very good. I don't have to go into it. For you newbies, this is how we support the Rotary International Foundation. So the birthday people are, believe it or not, Paul Cezanna is still a member. Andy Goodell, December 1st, so you're already past it. Steve Sandberg's birthday was December 2nd. Greg Jones, December 4th. Dave Painter, December 11th. I never forget that because it's the same birthday as my daughter. Walt Pickett, December 21st. Now, Jim Smith, I have December 22nd. Is that correct? Okay. Ruth London, the 31st. You're in the database. Last year, she wasn't in the database. That's not good for your incoming president. And Eddie Sundquist, December 31st. So let's see. The closest one to the 18th is Walt Pickett. So we're going to sing happy birthday to Walt Pickett. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Walt. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Give me your money for the foundation. Thank you.
Okay, so now give it up for Sergeant at Arms, Doug Conroy.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, welcome. We're going to start off with a little about $26 to get it going here. And I thank Courtney. I thank Kurt. And I thank Walt for contributing those funds to make it go forward. Very much appreciated. Absolutely. Now, sitting behind the pillar so I can't see him, but I do see him. Our last meeting, he sat behind the pillar and I didn't see him, so I couldn't recognize him then. So Dave Painter, I will recognize you now. We have missed your attendance a bit, but we're understandable. But you did have a picture in the paper a bit ago about Two Gingers pub opening that we never got to recognize. I had a great meal there and I trust things are going well. A little extra, thank you. And Toys for Tots, Allied Alarm, there was Michael was pictured. Hey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Oh, it's been a while since we met. Amy had her picture in the paper for United Way making halfway, and I know they're better than that now because she also had her picture in the paper for additional. You've hired a new community impact manager. No message? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And June Dietrich was pictured twice in the paper for Marvin House Christmas events. Russ, I'll be glad to. As soon as you recognize her wealth and well-being, I'm sure we will do that. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, okay, I'll bring the bucket over to you this time. Okay, now that about does it for recognitions. There's some Rotary Magazine things we'll catch up on in January. Better keep reading. Oh, but for those Christians in the room, somebody's got a birthday that's being celebrated on December 25th. So Amy's taking a deep breath, trying to hide behind my gap. So tell me about December 25th and whose birthday is that? You learned that in Sunday school. Okay, how do you know it's on his birthday was on the 25th? How do we know? Okay. That how do you think we came to celebrate it on that? Who? Caesar? Well, not quite. Someone at your table, speak up, table. This is going to cost. It's a large table. You're pretty darn close. It was a pagan celebration at that time of year. Emperor Aurelian established as the feast of the birth of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, S-U-N. So yeah, that was happening. And of course, Christians couldn't take that competition, could they? So in 326, who decided Christmas would be on the 25th of December? Yeah. Emperor Constantine. So that's how we came to celebrate on the 25th. In competition to the pagan holidays and by edict of Emperor Constantine. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bucks to the pot. We're doing good today. And maybe you have a happy buck or two, Ruth.
Yeah, we haven't met for a while, so if people have happy bucks, I think we need glad to have you time.
I don't know if it was Ruth's persistence or the promise of a taco bar, but it is so great to see not only the number of people here today, but the energy. Rotary's back, I can tell. To Mike and Tim and everybody who's getting the auction going again, some of the best friendships I've made at Rotary were helping out, picking up items, working at the auction. So looking forward to that. Actually, I bought a 1967 Ford station wagon one year, and it was a lot of fun for a long time. So, and it was a fun ride home from the Bills game last night. Go Bills. Got 20.
Here's a happy buck, but it should be a million. I'm here to just remind everybody, this is the Jamestown Gazette. Today is the last edition of the Jamestown Gazette. We're so sorry to see Stacy retire, but the memory of a Jamestown Gazette will live for a long time. I thought I'd take just a second and tell you a couple of the lessons we learned in all the years that the Gazette was coming out. One of them was that our politicians are far more, I know you're expecting a joke about politicians. Andy's here. very early on, we sent a letter out and let people know that if they're running for election, we promised never to publish anything negative about them by somebody else. And we promised we would not publish anything negative they said about their opponents. We simply wanted to let people know who they were and what they were going to do. And over and over and over again, people running for office thanked us for that. It's about time that all of the vilification and the negative in the politics goes away. So we were glad we could actually practice that that benefit to the election campaigns. Another lesson we learned was that Stacy and I worked together for a long time in a lot of ways, and we often were seen around the community. There were people who actually thought we were a married couple. And we talked about it in the office a couple of days, and we learned something very, very important. We decided we're friends. Why spoil that by getting married? And we also found out that words matter. We covered a lot of very, very popular issues in the community, building up the community, getting to know good people. And the Jamestown Renaissance, we tried to support that by if there was somebody who did something that really worked, we wanted to tell the rest of the community about it so they'd be encouraged to do the same thing. And I believe we really did a lot to support the city of Jamestown. We're proud of that. I would just like to say, Stacy, thank you from all of us for all that you've done. And I wonder, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. First, a happy buck to reiterate Mark's comments about how great it is to have everybody here like the old days, you know, when there's a lot of crosstalk and levity and mild insults. And then an apology buck for the per capita cookie consumption at the birthday table.
I have a happy buck for a very successful holiday party. I thank you to those who were able to make it. It was a lot of fun. Some true colors came out with some stealing of gifts, but that made the gift exchange game very fun. So thank you all for coming, and I look forward to the next event.
Doug was going to find me for Penn State going to the Peach Bowl, but instead I'll just put in a happy 20.
This is a happy buck for Phil Calla, who brought our table an entire plate of cookies. Thank you so much, Phil.
Well, here's another happy buck. There's still room in here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 50 people out there. We got room for 50s. Fill the bucket. But it's a pleasure to put that in there. It gives me to think as I gather here on this day. And if I've heard it before, just put your hands over your ears. But I was fortunate enough to be a baseball player when I was a youngster, and never got to the major leagues because it was such a long trip to get there, and I didn't have a bus fare, so I couldn't go to the major leagues. But I enjoyed the game of baseball as a kid, and I enjoyed it as an adult. A semi-pro baseball in our area and in our community. And the exciting thing about that, and I see it when I watch television now, whether it's baseball or football or basketball, some of the magnificent uniforms and the beautiful uniforms that the players play in. And boy, I hope they don't dive in the mud on purpose, because they're such beautiful uniforms. But I learned early in my time in baseball and the activities and the organization of baseball, and I said that the uniform does not make the player. He can have a great uniform on him, and it does not make the player. And that's true in every sport and in everything we do. Even if on Christmas Day we go buy a new suit, that uniform does not make the player. But God has put us in uniforms, a uniform that God give to us. And there are many of those uniforms. They're different in all of many of us. They are different. Some are dark uniforms, some are light uniforms, some are red uniforms, some are yellow uniforms, some are a combination of all of them. And it's not those uniforms on those individuals that make it so great, but it is what inside, in the heart, and in the mind of all of those in those various uniforms that make the difference. And God bless, there's a difference in this room, and God bless, there's a difference every place we walk. So always remember, the uniform does not make the player. And this battery has went dead, and it makes me go sit down. So you get 2 gifts.
Very good. All right, there we go. Thank you all for your happy bucks. It's been wonderful to hear them. Does anyone else have an announcement? Any committee chairs have an announcement or anything else that we need to? Not during the annual meeting. So if anybody online have raising their hands, just speak out if you need. Hearing none, I'm going to at this point call the annual meeting to order. And Madam Secretary, can you confirm a quorum? We definitely have a quorum. Thank you. Appreciate it. Officially on the recording. Thank you very much. Now, oh yes, I need to ask you about the minutes. Here we go.
I make a motion that we cease with the reading of the minutes. Do I have a second? Oh, thank you. All in favor? God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The nominating committee for the board of directors included the following members. John Healy, past president, was the chair. Former presidents Joni Blackman and Mike Roberts. President-elect Marion Beckerink, Vice President Kirk Young, and new Rotarian Max Eimiller. So I would like to ask John Healy to present the nominations for the board members.
The nominating committee met November 6th and communicated through email. All nominations were discussed with the nominated Rotarian. There are 4 board members with terms expiring June 30th, 2024. Marion Beckerink, Ruth Lundeen, Kirk Young, and Melissa Myers. Thank you for your service to Rotary on the board of directors. Those nominated to serve a 3-year term, July 1st, 2024 to 27, are John Bowman, Emily Kama, John Felton, and Dan Heitzenreiter. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If there are no objections, I'll ask Madam Secretary to accept the nominations as read by unanimous consent.
Hearing no objection, Madam Secretary, please record that the slate of nominees to serve as directors for the term July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2027 was approved by unanimous consent. The directors of the Rotary Club of Jamestown have been approved. So on behalf of the nominating committee, I will now ask John to present the nominated slate of officers for the Rotary year 2024-2025.
Following the same process as stated before, the following are the nominations for the officers of the Rotary Club of Jamestown 2024-25 Board of Directors. President, Marion Beckerink. President-elect, Kirk Young. Vice President, Michelle Jones. Secretary, Walt Pickett. Club Treasurer, George Harper. Past President Ruth Lundeen, Sergeant at Arms Doug Conroe. Many thanks to Lisa Goodell for all her years of service as secretary. And to Joni Blackman as treasurer. Many thanks. Are there other nominations from the floor? I move the nominations be closed, and if there's no objections, I will ask Madam Secretary to accept the nominees as read by unanimous consent.
Hearing no objection, Madam Secretary, please record that the slate of nominees to serve as officers for the term July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025 was approved by unanimous consent. The slate of officers of the Rotary Club of Jamestown's 24-25 board has been approved. So congratulations. So thank you to all those who are elected for agreeing to serve. Now, I would like to present to you, the club, the full board of directors for serving for the 2024-25 Rotary year. And as I call your name, please stand up. President Marion Beckerink, Vice President, President-elect Kirk Young, Vice President Michelle Jones, Secretary Walt Pickett, Club Treasurer George Harper, Past President Ruth Lundeen, board members Irene Dobies, Michelle Jones, Max Eimiller, Paulette Klein, George Harper, John Bauman, Emily Kama, John Felton, Dan Heitzenrader, and ex officio Doug Conroe, and special recognition to club historian Sue Jones. Oh, where'd I lose Chris to? Chris, stand. Oh, yes, Chris. Oh, Chris Anderson. I'm so sorry. It was in the crack. Yes. So it's now my pleasure to invite Marion Beckerink to come up, chair of the Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Service Fund, to present the slate of nominations for the 3 RCJCSF board members whose terms will run from 2024 to 2027.
Okay. Nominations for the board of the RCJCSF are Randy Sweeney, who's joining us online, Eric Harvey, also joining us online, and Lisa Goodell. Are there other nominations from the floor?
If not, no, as president of the Rotary Club of Jamestown, I move that the nominations be closed. And if there is no objection, I will ask Madam Secretary to accept the nominees as read by unanimous consent. Okay. Hearing no objection, Madam Secretary, please record that slate to serve as directors for the term July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2027, as approved by unanimous consent. The RCJCSF board is approved, and congratulations for those who are elected. Okay, so once I want to present the full board members, and so as I read your names, please stand. Marion Beckerink, who will be, who as president is ex officio, Joelle Washer, Sharon Hamilton, Ruth Lundeen, Kathy Birch, Gail Donis, Sherry Kroll, Eric Harvey, Lisa Goodell, Randy Sweeney, and Kirk Young as the official chair. I didn't miss anybody that time, did I? Thank you all so much for agreeing to serve. So, and now I would like to call, the RCJCSF board holds an organizational meeting in July to determine the officers for the 24-25 Rotary year. So we don't announce those today. So at this time, I'd like to call Mike Roberts up to give a venue report.
So as announced about a month ago, we had a meeting of the meeting committee, and I want to thank John Felton, Lisa Goodell, Vince Horrigan, Amy Roller, and Jim Smith for their willingness to volunteer. We visited 11 sites. We have met with the DoubleTree, and I want to thank John. He has a personal connection here, and we leveraged that very strongly. And Jessica and Brandon that were here today met with us, took the time to meet with us twice. So what they've offered us is a revolving menu, 13 weeks at a time. It'll be seasonal. It'll look much like what you see today. 3 or 4 of those lunches will be repeated one time. So with that, there will be an increase in price that we're proposing to $20. So I'm not one of those people that are in favor of never raising a price. And that's what's happened to us, much like our dues that the president had to go through a couple of weeks ago with us. If we don't raise dues for 10 years, everything goes up. I stopped at Wegmans the other day. I got a half a sandwich and a small soup for $14.03. They can't provide a venue in this kind of lunch for 15. They can provide it for 20. Okay. They have given us a recession that they are willing to sign a 6-month contract instead of a 1-year-long contract. So we'll revisit this again in 6 months. But I think we have a commitment from them moving forward that they want this to work. In looking around the city, we know that one challenge is parking, and we don't have a parking issue here. Handicap access is a challenge. We don't have that challenge here. So the meeting of the meeting committee would make the motion, and we've already seconded it, that we would stay here for 6 months and that we would raise the price for $20. One thing that will help us in the future, and we have to figure this out, and that's attendance. It's not, I love everybody being here. This is what Rotary's about. It's connecting with people. It's breaking bread together. I personally think we should bring the song back. But that being said, we need to figure out an online way on Friday to say, I attend or plan on not attending the meeting. I don't think it's a requirement. It's just this concept that if we're going to have a low turnout, 30 people, I will not be here January the 5th. No, it's, what is the, it'd be the 8th. I will not be here the 8th. I will not be here the 15th. I need to somehow let the staff here at the DoubleTree know that I'm not going to attend. If we can figure that out through some online portal so that, go ahead. The 30, right. We're on the hook for 30. That's right. But let's take, for example, we warned them today that we were expecting a large turnout, because the last thing we want is to come and there not be any food, right? So we need to work together with the DoubleTree. You know, the cookie suggestion is a great idea. They are for sale. I think they're 10 for $9 at the front desk if you're interested in taking cookies back to the staff. So there's a motion, there's a second. Madam President, take a vote.
So does the secretary know who made the motion and the second? Mike Roberts and John Felton. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion? Sue? Thanks to the meeting committee. Yes, I think we all agree with that, because they did look at 11 venues, so they feel like this is the best, and it sounds like it's a great opportunity. Hearing no other questions, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes carry. So we will stay here and sign a contract for 6 months. Thank you. And thank you so much for all that work, because I know when I was looking at it a couple months ago, I said, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. And the committee just took the bull by the horns. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to call up the RCJCSF Chair, Marion Beckering, to provide a brief Community Service Fund award report.
Make this brief because everything I'm going to talk to you about is available through the QR code on your program. You'll see the orange and blue QR code, and that actually has the auction committee report, the literacy committee report, and the youth exchange report. So really what I want to highlight is the fact that our club has been able to, or I should say the fund, the Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Service Fund, which is our 501c3, met and approved a budget in July with the understanding that we want to keep a certain amount of money in reserve. We understand that fundraising took a dip over the past, I don't want to say 20 years. And so we want to be sure that our club is going to continue to support the projects that our club supports. So we're putting $20,000 in a 24-month certificate of deposit at the Southern Chautauqua Federal Credit Union. That has already happened through our treasurer and secretary, who are signatories to that account. And we also are keeping an additional $20,000 in reserve for any projects that present themselves in this community that are large and that Rotary wants to make a really significant impact. Over and above, we have taken funds and dedicated that to our vision committee so that the vision committee knows how much they have to work with every year. And if that seems insignificant, then that's the pressure on our fundraising committee to raise more funds so that we can make a difference in this community. But as you know, 60% of the monies that are dedicated to projects are for local projects, and 40% of that is international. You probably know already we've contributed to refurbished bikes in Singapore. We have also finished our books and bibs project. Thank you, everyone. And there's more to report on that, but we're going to wait for Michelle Jones to tell us about that in January. We have also received a grant from Gebby for the back of the sign to complete that project. And we also have a water filtration project, thanks to Greg and Sue Jones in Puerto Vallarta. And I know I'm missing one more project that is not coming to mind that we have funded this year. The youth exchange weekend, and I should have remembered that. We had a lot of fun, and we invited 10 students through the District 7090 to experience Jamestown for the weekend. And it was a lot of fun, but that was a vision committee contribution as well. So we continue to fund smaller projects through our vision committee, but we're hoping through the auction to be able to really put our mark on this community in a way that will change lives. So thank you all. As I said, if you want any other details or any questions I can answer, as close as my cell phone, or tap me on the shoulder. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marion. And so I'd like to call Joni Blackman now to give the treasurer's report for the club.
All right, so you have the green sheets on the table. It's pretty straightforward. I don't deal with the, 20,000 here and 20,000 there. But our budget so far for this year is $28,608.57. That's from July 1st to November 30. And we have brought in $23,557.27. And we've spent 27,519.95. Now you'll see a gigantic miscellaneous expense line in there, and that's where the 5,200 that was raised for the books and bibs went out after July 1st. So it's not a big expense we incurred. The money came in before July 1st on last year's budget. So that's why it looks wonky. But other than that, we are tracking pretty good. I know we're looking about 3,900 in the hole for the year, but again, you balance that with 5,200. That really is part of the grant, and we're not doing too poorly. So for the month of November, we're $860 to the good, and our total budget for the year is $48,541. Considering we only make about what, $6 per member? We're doing pretty good, folks. And I want to congratulate Max Eimiller, who obviously evaporated already, for, oh, there he is, yay, for doing the mini golf tournament, because I personally know exactly how much we need that. Any questions on the profit and loss? Yes. Is 18? Yeah. I can't remember why that isn't balanced. Okay. I guess that's it. I'm gonna look at my notes. That'll make more sense. Any other questions on the profit and loss? Well, yeah, that's the next discussion. I'm actually well, we'll talk about that. We're pretty close. We're pretty close, but there are a few that have not paid. The balance sheet that you see shows the balances as of November 30th and the checking the savings account.
Thank you very much. Okay. No, we don't have to. It's no, because it's a 6-month report. So at this time, I was supposed to do my president's report, but it's already after it's 1:18. So what I would like to do is in lieu of doing the president's report, I will send you the president's report because you guys are so great. You do so much. I can't do a brief president's report. So but Sue asked a really specific question, and so Sue and one of the things I've been wanting to do more recently is to report with the what the board of directors is doing. And we did as a board vote on Friday to terminate 8 people who had not paid their dues for this year. These people have been contacted by the treasurer 2 times. They had been the membership committee had phoned them and talked to them. I sent them a letter and said, I have to hear from you by December 10th what your intentions are, and no response. So those 8 people, unless we get payment by December 20th, will be terminated. And they will be welcome to come back in the future if they pay their dues and come back to us. We would love to see them back. But I think for several of them, it was a guilt thing, and so they're probably going to feel better having been terminated, to be real honest. So now I hate to stop on such an ugly note as that. But are there any other questions from the membership? Great, because I had so much. Well, So I will say this, because when I came on board, I said that I wanted to increase our member engagement and to focus on the committees and ask them to be proactive, thinking to look forward to how they could make, looking forward to see how they could enrich the Rotary experience and expand Rotary's reach. And I am just really so thrilled when I see all of you here today. And when I read and think about all the service activities that I've put in my president's report, that people have participated in the first half of the year, I feel really good as about our trajectory. So thank you so much. And unless there are other questions. Yes, Sue? Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. So yep. Yeah. So we want to keep the membership strong. So thank you. Kristen? Well, I'm afraid the bylaws say terminated. So yeah, we can put us off. Right. Okay. So thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your holiday, and I'll see you on the 8th. We are adjourned. And the annual meeting is adjourned, and we are adjourned.